Joining us now, Fox News contributor Joe Concha. It's great to have you back on, Joe. It's good to see you. Okay, we've got this new report from the Washington Examiner. They've got a load of text messages they found on Hunter Biden's laptop. It suggests that Biden's attorney, George Masiras, reassured Hunter in 2018 that the New York Times would not link Joe Biden to the family's business deal with that Chinese energy conglomerate, CEFC, that somehow it appears that the lawyer heard from the New York Times or talked to them and said, we're not going to mention Joe in the story. What's your take on this?
Wow. Why wouldn't the New York Times do that, EMAC, right? Because I don't know. That's a former vice president who may be running for president. I'm pretty sure that that's a pretty relevant thing in this story. Oh, that's right. The New York Times has not endorsed a Republican presidential candidate since 1956. OK, so perhaps they're biased. I don't know. Just spitballing here, Elizabeth. But look, in this situation, it goes back to the same questions over and over again. What did the president know in terms of Biden at the time? When did he know it? And did he profit in any way, shape, or form from his son's business dealings with China, who is our biggest adversary? And if so, is he now compromised as a result of this? All I know is this laptop, boy, I mean, I got to buy this laptop because it has more memory and more stuff on it than any laptop in history. We keep learning more and more things on it, and you just have to wonder now at this point, this federal investigation, will there be indictments? And then when the Republicans take back the House, when do those hearings begin? Probably about 5 minutes after they take the House.
Yeah, we're looking at reports coming in, Joe, to your point, that the president has claimed multiple times to have no knowledge of his family's business dealings. A report coming in that the president played a role in the Biden family business at least a dozen times over a 6-year period. And there's text messages on Hunter's laptop revealing that, that James Biden was talking to Joe Biden about the business deals, and that the family's payout mechanism indicated that Hunter Biden would get the money and then cover the family's expenses. Yeah.
And then remember what Tony Bobulinski said, and that is Hunter Biden's senior business partner in all of this. He said then the big guy gets 10%. He says the big guy is absolutely Joe Biden in this situation. And then, you think about this laptop itself, Elizabeth, right? And those 51 former intelligence officials who signed off this laptop as Russian disinformation, despite admitting they had no evidence actually to back up that it was Russian disinformation. They were just going on a hunch, right? All of them in lockstep. And this included John Brennan, the former CIA director, who's hard to distinguish from, Joy Behar at this point in terms of what he says on MSNBC at times. I mean, he's that partisan. James Clapper, same thing. He's now on CNN. He also signed off on this letter. And now we're supposed to believe that these folks were apolitical when they were in power, when they had a lot of power running CIA and DNI. So, at this point, they never apologized for this, and that helped push the lie that these former intelligence officials basically said, oh, we think this may be Russian disinformation, and then the media runs with it as if it's absolute fact.
So Joe Biden was the chair of Senate Foreign Relations, right? Then he became vice president.
Right.
Right when, in and around this period, Hunter and James Biden were ramping up their business dealings. And what was really one of the biggest hotspots is the business dealings with CEFC. That's China's energy conglomerate. It's a national security issue. CEFC was, at the time, China's marquee top player and China's big Belt and Road push to dominate global infrastructure, which the U.S. is battling against around the world. But reports that the Biden family made nearly $5 million. Others suggest it was nearly $6 million. And also, Joe, there's reports coming in that China businesses were forgiving debt and loans, taken out by apparently reportedly Hunter Biden.
And I was looking down at my notes because it's just so much to absorb now at this point in terms of the levels of why, again, is Hunter Biden involved with all these energy companies, whether we're talking about Ukraine, whether we're talking about China, when he has zero experience in working in energy whatsoever. Oh, that's right. His dad was the vice president at the time and perhaps could influence certain things, or at least got him in the room when he would never be in the room to make all these deals. So it's pretty obvious now, Elizabeth, at this point that Hunter Biden was involved in, to be as generous as possible, some really shady stuff, and to be not so generous illegal activity, which is why there's a federal investigation going on right now. And look, Senator Chuck Grassley, Republican Iowa, he told CBS News recently that James Biden received $65,000 in monthly payments from a Chinese finance group in 2018. Quote, we have people with the Biden name dealing with Chinese businesses and their people that have a relationship with the Chinese Communist Party. I think James Biden was very much a part of this. So we have Hunter Biden, James Biden. Does it lead to Joe Biden? That's our question right now, Elizabeth.
We'll stay on it with you, Joe. Come back soon and have a good weekend. It's good to have you on.